Hello everyone, my name is Susan Murphy and I am with the Humane Marketer, and I began working with Kaari and just was fascinated with the work she did. This is Kaari of Kaari Allen Consulting, and we're here today to let you introduce her and to also have you learn a little bit more about what she does and how she helps people, individuals, educators, and folks in the workplace. Welcome, Kaari.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you here. Well, let's start off by just what I was saying. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do and how you came to do this?
Sure, I'd love to. I am passionate about the advocacy of the human spirit, and I've been involved in education. I was in the classroom for 27 years. Loved every minute of that. I have a background in learning and behavior disorders, and I did a lot of diagnostics and still do in terms of how we process information and the executive functions of our brain and planning and motivation and organization, just to propel people forward to be their best selves. And one of the things that I do love to do is work with individuals, but by extension work with large groups of people, whether it's in an academic setting or the corporate world.
Wonderful. I can't think of anybody who wouldn't want to be their best self. So tell us a little bit more how you do that.
Sure.
What is your process? And
Sure. When people reach out to me, they don't know that they have a need until they have a need. And sometimes through a free consultation, we can come to a place of identifying the challenges that they might be having, either with individuals or within the collaboration of their employment setting or their school, for example, or a parent might be having difficulty with their child, for example. But they will work with me initially just to see how we can identify some of those challenges and ignite the strengths. And I create an environment that's safe where people can come forward and share some of the things that are holding them back from maximizing their potential and being their best self.
I can imagine that's difficult for some people to just be able to
It
share
is.
that. And so once you've started to gather this information and you're ready to work with your group, how does it go, or what is the process?
Sure. We'll sit down and do an hour-long conversation or consultation one-on-one directly, just to find out and garner information from their perspective as to some of their needs, and I can help identify my approach in terms of customizing either a presentation, a workshop, creating a menu of strategies for them to draw upon, like a menu, and also for them to have a safe place to share their truth about what's holding them back. And I think once people do that, they realize that there's a whole big world of happiness, fulfillment, and from an employer standpoint, they're getting the best out of their employees.
That's fabulous. So what have you witnessed out there? What changes have you seen in people? What has happened during some of the sessions you've worked in?
Sure, I can think of a couple of examples. One in the education arena, I was training some teachers in Florida, and my role for a 4-hour-long workshop was to help them identify different strengths that they had in working with kids, but also working with kids differently and kids that learn differently. And administrators and faculty found a safe space to share some of their own vulnerabilities, which by extension endeared their students to them, and they could propel themselves forward in the classroom, and also obviously the kids felt a safer place to ignite their strengths, and it was pretty exciting. And in the business world, a group of employees from an eye doctor came to me because they just weren't cohesively collaborating, which, as we all know, is not effective or functioning. And a young lady, I called her young, she's in her mid-30s, but she shared in that environment that she had struggled with spelling and had been dyslexic and still is dyslexic throughout her school career, which manifested itself in her workplace, and her role had been to do a lot of reading, writing, and it held her back because what they all realized is that they were all trying to be great at everything, and they weren't igniting individual strengths for the good of the whole. And she was pretty excited to know that she could contribute in a healthier way, and her employer got to see some new strengths that he's never seen. So that was exciting.
Yeah. Well, as quickly, is there anything else you want anyone to know about the work you do that we haven't covered?
Sure. A little sidebar, I do work with athletes and coaches because I am a former athlete. I trained for the '84 Olympics in ski racing, which is another facet of my work, and I like working with not only young athletes in balancing academics and their sporting and social life and personal development, but also teams and coaches as well. And that's
amazing.
fun for me.
What a great varied background you have.
Thank you.
I bet all of you out there would love to know how to get a hold of Kaari. She can be found at kaariallenconsulting.com. And anything else about contacting you?
Oh, feel free to reach out, call, email. We can sit down for a free consultation, and I can find out if I can celebrate your strengths and contribute to your successes.
That
Thanks.
sounds fabulous. Thank you, and thank you all for watching.